Here's a take. Destiny 2's story has vastly improved over time, sure, but the Witch Queen expansion has the best campaign in Destiny history. Yeah, that's right. Better than the Taken King, better than our revenge quest for Cade 6, better than any expansion in Destiny 1 or 2 so far. Keep in mind, y'all, this is just my opinion and not our official review. Our excellent guardian Phil Hornshaw will have a complete review on Destiny 2 The Witch Queen coming soon. Like this vid while you're here, sub to the channel, be prepared for some potentially minor gameplay spoilers, and let's dive in. What makes The Witch Queen without a doubt the best campaign in Destiny yet is the structure of each mission. Add the Hive Lightbearers, the legendary difficulty, and some incredible environments, the result is you have a campaign that rivals the golden days of Doom and Halo. Compared to previous expansions, Bungie has made a big leap in the way it builds Destiny campaigns. See, Destiny campaigns have historically suffered from being disjointed and lacking cohesion, particularly with the first game. Bungie moved in the right direction with the Taken King, and Destiny 2 definitely demonstrated learnings from past missteps and flexed its muscles with each major expansion. There have always been incredible narrative wow moments with any expansion, but until the seasonal model really took over, most of the story threads felt disjointed. This has changed recently, and with The Witch Queen, we're finally seeing Bungie melding together some of its best Destiny design with the improved storytelling from its seasonal model, culminating together into a story that is engaging. Still, what you should know is that fans of Destiny have been waiting for answers to several loose ends created from Taken King, all the way through vanilla D2's ending. On this front, The Witch Queen definitely delivers the goods, although not without some confusing moments and lines, sure. But that is all okay though, cause, like I mentioned earlier, the new legendary campaign is an absolute home run from Bungie. For starters, the Lucent Brood is one of the best changes to Destiny enemies ever, specifically the Lightbearer, Acolyte, Knight, and Wizard. Each has the power of Guardian Super, such as Blade Barrage, Sentinel Shield, and Storm Trance, and boy do they pack a punch. If you've had Crucible nightmares of Swarm Grenades and Guardian Supers, man, that ish is back to haunt you in the campaign. There's an added level of adrenaline when you realize that Lightbearers are basically the equivalent to Guardians, and that they can respawn and come back to life after you kill them. There is nothing more brutal than whittling down a Lightbearer's health just to forget about its ghost and see it resurrect right before your eyes. There's another minor benefit of the Lightbearers depending on your opinion on champions, but the lack of champions in the campaign, especially on legendary difficulty, to me is a welcome one. The Lightbearers are clearly serving this kind of champion type replacement, and for the better. However, except for the overloads, I still personally like champions. I think it's a smart way to push restricted loadouts as a type of challenge in the Nightfall strikes, but fighting champions forces you to cycle through gear, and requiring that in a new expansion campaign? That wouldn't have been smart. The reason being, we're constantly getting gear drops, both rare and legendary, so it's only natural to want to test out all the new goodies to your disposal out in the field. And not only that, but champions kind of force you to take them on from a safe distance, which is fine, and it's still tense for Grandmaster Nightfalls, but it's not what I want from a story campaign. This doesn't mean that the Lightbearers give you the full green light to just go in guns blazing. You still have to be incredibly careful. Once you start dueling Lightbearers, you are forced to risk leaving cover to finish off their ghosts once and for all. This creates a clever layer of fighting where you're not only cognizant of how to take these mini-bosses down, but when you should take them down. Throw in the Hive Wizard's ability to create a healing rift or the Acolyte smoking you out with its grenade, and you've got a genuine challenge on your hands. I find the Lightbearers to be a significant change in creating an added layer of difficulty that isn't only tied to a gear check. The extra challenge of the Lightbearers combined with the incredibly varied level design and the major encounters, they work together in tandem, and all of this ensures you are constantly wowed, always moving to another location that feels fresh, and never able to get fully comfortable and safe from your enemies. If we were to describe the campaign purely from mission length, a single Witch Queen campaign mission would be about as long as, let's say, 2 to 3 older Destiny missions across any past expansion. Not to mention, plenty of older Destiny missions were painfully predictable and aesthetically plain. The Witch Queen doesn't completely abandon the core loop of traveling across the expansion's new location, exploring areas, fighting minions, and a potential boss, but it does improve it. The difficulty for the legendary campaign scales, meaning the more people there are in your fire team, the more enemies will spawn. Bosses will also be tankier and have way more health. Go solo and you'll still be pushed and challenged, but with less overwhelming odds. This extra difficulty is not only welcome, but has a reward incentive. Each mission has several major encounters, and completing these encounters will give you 2 loot chests. Seeing these chests spawn after a particularly stressful boss fight feels awesome, and it's nice to know that the game is respecting your time choosing the harder fight. So overall, the rewards feel appropriate. There's also an incredibly challenging revive mechanic if you decide to take on the legendary difficulty as a fire team. Each Guardian will only have 1 revive token, similar to how revives work in darkness zones during the raids. Once you revive a teammate, you can't revive anyone again during that fight, meaning jumping out of cover too often or straying away from your team and losing a token mid-fight can come around to bite you. There's also a timer countdown on each ghost when a Guardian dies, forcing your teammates to act quickly and trying to snag the revive or get wiped and have to retry the encounter. It all adds a hectic sense of urgency that can snowball into pure chaos with dozens of already souped up minions and bosses chasing you down, all as you try to avoid the wipe timer. The new major encounters are also a radical change from past Destiny story missions and take inspiration from dungeon or even raid mechanics, but in a far more manageable form. Each mission has a couple of major encounters. It may be an arena fight while adjusting a cannon, or completing a ghost scan, or battling hordes of enemies while trying to unlock a sealed path to your objective. Meanwhile, the parts between these encounters involve a really interesting amount of platforming that uses a new Deepsight system. Deepsight Resonance is basically the ability to see hidden platforms or clues in the area for a limited amount of time. You activate it at clearly visible spots and have about a 30-second timer to find what you're looking for or to cross the platforms that it reveals, adding an extra layer of urgency to progress. Deepsight also makes the world feel alive as you notice parts that were formerly hidden, such as footsteps on the ground giving you hints on where to search, or seeing statues suddenly pointing, indicating you're on the right path. Lastly, I have to gush about the visual look of this campaign. It is so damn good. For you Elden Ring and FromSoft fans, yeah, pat yourself on the back. The aesthetic of those games are amazing, and their influence is clearly seen in the Hive architecture of Savathun's throne world. I mean, just come on. In fact, now's a good time to mention that the areas in this campaign are incredibly varied despite all being situated primarily on Savathun's throne world alongside current Destiny 2 locations. In fact, it is so diverse that all the footage you have seen so far in this video has only been from the first few campaign missions, and this doesn't even come close to scratching the surface of some of the surprises waiting in store in the second half of the campaign. Everything about this campaign has left me in awe. The revamped level design is incredible, the difficulty of the Legendary Edition and the excellent rewards feel great, the Lucent Brood, the story beats, the platforming, the puzzles, the Witch Queen's campaign just feels complete. I can't believe I'm saying it, but it does. There was always something missing from older Destiny campaigns that felt like you were going through the motions to hit the endgame as fast as possible, not really caring for what was going on in the game world, and just hoping to get to the great gameplay of raids and dungeons. To be honest, I went into Witch Queen optimistic, but ultimately expecting the same. So I was so caught off guard, and so happy that I deliberately paused and took my time taking in every cutscene, interaction, and major encounter. Guys, I literally didn't sleep the first day. I couldn't. This felt like a triumphant home run of a campaign, and the only frustration I have is that I need to know what happens next in the story right now. Destiny 2 The Witch Queen is out, and we've got an excellent video breaking down why it's a great time to play Destiny right now on our channel. Fans of the game, be sure to check out GameSpot.com. That is where almost all of our Destiny content is at, from guides to breaking news, especially deep dive lore breakdowns and story catch-ups. Stay tuned for our official Destiny 2 review by Phil Hornshaw in the coming weeks, and check out our GameSpot After Dark podcast, as we'll have a spoilercast story breaking down discussions with myself, Phil, and Jean-Luc. Until next time, Guardian.